Yo, what's up, man? Here, um, I'm shooting this right before Sunday night football between the Falcons and the Vikings. Man, like it's I would say this, it's frustrating. I know it can be frustrating a lot, you know, when we bet on these teams and they don't play up to their standard, or they do, stupid things or try stupid things, to get excess penalties and all those things. I know that could be very frustrating. You know, man, because when I pick these picks, right? I pick these picks based off of both teams playing at their best with no BS, right? And also more importantly, the spot and the situation that goes on with these teams. So that's how so that's how I make my picks. Now, even though I win most of the time, I want to win every time, and I know that y'all want to be blank and O. So when we doing these picks, because I spend a lot of time researching these, and it really upsets me when teams don't play up to their full potential. Now, granted, we did have a winning day, right? We had a winning day, and if you parlay, a couple of teams, like you walked away, with some money in your pocket. But man, it's just so frustrating when teams don't live up to their expectations. Today, Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the ball went right past them in the end zone, and they recovered the scoop and score for a touchdown. That's a game where Pittsburgh should have won easily. But because of that situation right there, now you have to play the game, from a different element. It's not, I'm saying, you can't mix it up anymore. You have to throw the ball. People know what you're going to do. And unfortunately, Pittsburgh, they have that kind of offense where they can't just drop back and throw the ball 50 times a game with Aaron Rodgers. He's 40 plus. He can't do that anymore. Um, Another game was where the let's see who we have. We had one more loss where they really effed that up. Um, I think everyone won straight up except for the Steelers, and I think that's it. I think everybody else won straight up. I have to go back and look at it, but like Pittsburgh, like that was. Oh yeah, the Browns and the Ravens, right? I said the Browns plus 12, 11 points, right? In which the Browns would have stuck with that. But what happens is, like I said, anytime something collapses in a game, the Browns. What sparked everything was a block punt. That's what sparked everything with the Browns. That and Denzel Ward running his mouth about, saying, oh, 11 points is such disrespect. So for me, I'll take you at face value. Now, I know what I saw on the film, right? What I saw on the film was, Baltimore winning by 17. I didn't know they were going to win 41-17, but I was like, okay, Baltimore's clearly 17, 20 points better than this team right here, based off of what I'm looking at. But Denzel Ward said, oh, it's such disrespect. So I'm thinking this guy's going to be flying around on the football field, you know. And I'm going to make another video after this one, describe, I'm going to look at Denzel Ward on film, and I'm going to watch nobody but him the entire game to see if he's playing like it's disrespectful. Because if I don't see that, that's going to piss me off, you know. Because when a man tells me something, and I take it at face value, I can, and he doesn't come through, I can no longer trust that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't have to say it, right? You don't have to say it, but he said it. He said, oh, it's disrespectful. So I'm thinking he's going to go out there and I know he can't play all 11 positions, right? But if you tell me something, you're supposed to be the prime motivator of that team to make sure something like that does not happen. 41-17, you got to be kidding me, man. There's no way in the world that you're a professional athlete and you around here bumping your gums and you lose 41-17. I get it. Baltimore's a premier team. Cleveland is not much, right? I understand that. But when you run your mouth, I expect you to back it up. That's what a man does. But other than those two games right there, we cruise through everything else, really. We really cruise through everything else. You know, now the Cowboys didn't cover the 6 points, you know, but they won the game. You know, they won the game. So, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's important for people to do both, right? You can do the point spread, you can do the game, right? You can, whichever one you want to bet on. But like I said, most of the time, you know, we win most of our stuff, right? Most of our bets, most of everything, you know, we win most of the time. But it just really, I want to go undefeated. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to go undefeated. I do not like losing. I hate losing more than I love winning. You know, and there's a difference. There's a difference. But, you know, and then my Dolphins today, like I said before, you know, hey, I'm a fan, right? But I will go against my team when it comes to making the right decisions, you know. So I am not biased when it comes to this thing. You know, they lost. I said, hey, I'll take the Patriots with +2, and you better believe that's what it's going to take. You know, we are in a disarray, but I'm going to get through everything. After I'm going through the film, the tape, and everything. I'll come back, and I'll shoot another video, and I'll let everybody know, you know, okay, you know, this is what I saw. You know, this is what it should be. You know, I had, you know, people telling me, you know, that, hey, you know, they like the long videos. You know, I know I go into detail a lot about a lot of things, but, you know, I'll definitely keep pumping these videos. I love football. I love football, man. I love football season. I love looking at college and football. Like, I look at so much of it to where I can give y'all, you know, the information. And, you know, and we're going to get better and better as the season goes on. We're going to get better and better at this thing. You know, Cincinnati and the Jaguars, we took Cincinnati -3, right? You know, we took a -3. Now, we didn't anticipate Joe Burrow getting hurt, but Jake Browning, you know, former quarterback at Washington, you know, he stepped in and he played pretty good. You know, he played pretty good. So, but we're gonna see what happens Sunday night tonight. You know, with the Vikings. You know, I like the Vikings -3. You know, I like the way Michael Penix Jr. is playing at the Falcons. I like how Bijan Robinson, I like how he's running the ball. But that defense that they have over there, I like JJ McCarthy a lot better against the Falcons defense. I like the Vikings offense a lot better against the Falcons defense than I like the Falcons offense against the Vikings defense. So that's ultimately what it's gonna come down to. Brian Flores, he likes the mixed coverages and do his, you know, his little sprinkling fairy dust and magic to get to the quarterback. And, you know, this is gonna be the I think Michael Penix is gonna be, this is his baptized game right here. I think he's gonna get baptized. You know, they won't be able to run the ball like they did last week against Tampa. They won't be able to do that against this Vikings defense. You know, they beefed up the line over here, but excuse me. But, you know, but like I said, we know we're gonna watch this game and then come back, and then, you know, I want y'all to leave your comments, right? Like, subscribe, share, all right, and comment. You know, like, if you like the video, you want me to keep making them, hey, you know what I'm saying, let me know that you like it. You know, give me a like. You know, don't just like the video. You know, give me something. But all right, hey, y'all have a good one. I'm gonna watch this game, you know, and I'll speak with you in a little bit. Peace out, baby.